computer for the file. Then you'll tell us what folder you want to put them in if you created more than one folder, and then you'll simply click continue. Once you do that, you will go to what is our mapping page, where you'll map the data to the contact manager. So you'll map first name to first name, last name to last name, email to email, phone to phone, and so on and so forth. Whatever data you have, you're going to be able to import into the contact manager. Now, the question always comes up is, hey, I have some unique data points that I want to be able to view in the contacts and see when I'm making calls. Well, PhoneBurner has, in our contact manager, we have a feature called custom fields, and you're actually able to create as many custom fields as you want. So if you have unique data like company name or title or whatever the case may be, you're going to be able to import that data into those custom fields. And you can do that during the importing process, or you can do that within the contact manager and create those custom fields at any time. So that's how you're going to get data into the contact manager. So once you have some contacts in there and you're ready to begin, you basically, the beauty part of PhoneBurner, quite frankly, is in its simplicity, okay? You're basically going to select some contacts. So if I wanted to select just a handful of contacts, I can select them one at a time when I'm in any one folder. Or if I wanted to select all the contacts on the page at that time, depending on how many you're showing, you can simply click the checkbox to the left to begin dial session. It will check mark everybody that you're seeing at that point, and you'll simply click begin dial session. Now this will open up what we call our dialer window. So this will pop up. And before I continue, let me just share a few things with you. First of all, no special equipment at all is required when you use PhoneBurner. All right, you can use your computer, your laptop, you can even use a tablet that has a 7-inch or larger screen to be able to do dials. Okay, so no special equipment from that perspective, and it is cloud-based. So anywhere you have a computer, anybody's computer, you can log into your account and you'll see your information, your contacts, and be able to start a dial session. Also, with PhoneBurner, you do need to make one phone call into PhoneBurner. All right, but it doesn't matter what, there's no special phone required or anything like that. You can use your home phone, you can use your office line, you can use an office line in a conference room if you wanted to. You can even use your mobile phone. All right, so no special equipment required. However, I want to go ahead and point out the fact that what PhoneBurner does is whatever number you dial into PhoneBurner from, it picks up that caller ID, and that's what your contacts will see. And if you're happy with that, you don't need to do anything else. That's what your contacts will see. However, there is some settings in the back office that lets you set the caller ID to whatever you want. Therefore, no matter what phone you pick up, that's the caller ID they'll see, whatever you had it set for. And you can easily change it at any time, but once you set it once, you never have to go back. So that's kind of how the caller ID works. There are just a few things you get to pick when you start a dial session. First of all, you can pick a phone script if you use phone script. Now, this is completely optional, but the back office of PhoneBurner contains a message library. And if you like to use phone scripts when you're making phone calls, you are able to add them right into the phone script area and pick which one you want to see when you calling this particular group of contacts. All right. Now they are dynamic, so you can put codes in there which will merge the contact's name and information and whatever you want to have in your phone script that's available. The next thing is you're going to pick your voicemail message that you want to leave for this particular group of contacts. Now you're going to see this live in just a second, but as soon as you hear a voicemail, you can click a button called leave voicemail. Again, those are our dispositions, and PhoneBurner is going to just leave that voicemail but automatically take you to the next call. So whatever one you pick here will be the message that is left here, and you can record as many as you want, but you'll pick the one that is most appropriate for this particular group of contacts that you're calling at this time. And then finally, and definitely not last, is our what we call our dispositions or our dialing sets. Okay, basically the way to think about these is just they're buttons in your dialer window. They are action buttons depending on what happened on the call. And so we have a set of buttons for when the phone is first ringing. Things like leave voicemail, no answer, busy signal, bad number, things like that. They're all pre-defaulted, ready for you to use out of the gate, but they are also all configurable to do what you want them to do. Then we have an entirely different set of buttons when you get a live answer, and you're going to see this live again in a moment. And those buttons are, again, configurable by you to designate what happened on that call. And not only will they disposition or basically set a status of the contact, which is really important because the entire database is searchable, and how nice is it that you can search by everybody that you called, a week ago that you left a voicemail for, because they're going to be dispositioned or a status of voicemail. But these buttons can also send immediate emails if you want them to. Optional, but they can do that. They can move your contact automatically to different folders. All right. They can automatically put notes in the contact details of your contact automatically without you doing anything. And you're going to see, again, how powerful this is going to be for you. So you'll pick your dialing sets, and then you'll simply continue, and you'll move on. Now, this is where you'll pick up your phone and make the one phone call into PhoneBurner and put that PIN number in that connects you to the system. I'll be right back as I'm going to do that.
On your screen, your dial session will begin.
Okay, I basically picked up a phone, dialed that number, put that PIN number in, and now I am connected to the phone, as you heard her voice. And notice the caller ID. Now, that's not the number I dialed into PhoneBurner from, but that is what my contacts are going to see because I set that up in my back office. And when you're ready to go, you'll simply click Start Dialing. It'll pull up your first contact. In this case, it's Jenny Thompson. Note all the information here. We'll pause in a moment, and I'll show you all this window and how it works.
Hey, Sally Prospect here.
I got a voicemail. I simply click Leave Voicemail. PhoneBurner's automatically taking me to the next call, but it's going to wait on hold and wait for that beep and leave that pre-recorded message, or the pause, I should say.
Hi, this is Jeff Sample.
Great. I got another voicemail. I'll click Leave Voicemail again. All right. Now it's going to call Sally. Oh, I got no answer. I click no answer. PhoneBurner is going to do everything that button is scheduled to do and move to the next call. Now it happens to be Brock, okay? And now notice one thing that just happened. So I actually answered my other line, and I got a live answer. So you will notice here that the live answer button became available because, remember, this is my no answer set worth of buttons. So once I get a live answer, I simply click the live answer button. All right. Now, there's no delay whatsoever. I'm talking to my contact. As soon as they answer, they don't know I'm using a power dialer. I'm engaged with them immediately. All right. And while I'm talking to them, I can toggle over to any program I want. I have full access to the screen. I'll explain it in just a moment, and into your dialer window and everything that you can do with it. All right. But when I am done talking to my contact, and I'm going to do that right now just because I'm getting a little feedback in my ear, which you probably are too. But when you're done talking to your contact, you are going to simply click this End This Call button. That is important for two reasons. Number one is it disconnects you from that call. So Brock can't hear us anymore. I am disconnected. But unlike the no answer set buttons, like the leave voicemail that you saw in the no answer, where it automatically takes you to the next call, when you click that red End This Call button, it brings up your live answer set worth of buttons. In other words, what happened? Interested, follow up, not yet interested. These are just the ones for this particular one that I picked. But remember, you're able to create your own. And of course, we have them all done ready for you to use if you want to use our standard ones. But you can configure them all. And again, these buttons are going to do certain action items, okay, including set a status, leave an automatic note, potentially send an automatic email. All right, that's all what PhoneBurner does. So, but if you notice now, I haven't moved on to the next call because basically PhoneBurner's sitting here waiting and saying, okay, tell me what happened on that call. All right, until I do that, I can go ahead and look at my, while I'm talking to them or right now, I can update any of this information if I need to update any of it. I can even go ahead and move the contact manually to another folder. I can lock in a special email to send to that contact right here. I can even add more notes, okay, as I'm talking to my contact. Plus, I have all these notes in front of me. So I know everything that I did with this contact. I know everything about them when I am talking to them. I mentioned the custom fields upon importing, and these are some of the different types that are custom fields. So I can either view this information or I can update it when I'm talking to them if I want to. Here's where you can see that phone script, and notice it automatically puts in the customer's information and so on and so forth if you use phone scripts. And again, that is up to you. Before I tell the system what happened on the call, I just want to point out the action buttons real quick. So under actions, you can print the contact, you can do a quick Google search, but the other thing you can do with PhoneBurner is schedule a follow-up. So PhoneBurner has its own calendar. If you want to use this calendar, you are welcome to use it, all right? It does two-way sync with Google Calendar. So if you do use Google Calendar, you can click on the gear wheel on your calendar or your appointment area and go ahead and two-way sync it with Google Calendar, set that up. But if you want to use the calendar, it is so nice because let's say I wanted to set up an appointment on Friday with this contact, I simply click Add Event. It automatically puts the contact information in there, including the phone number. I can write a little description, but more importantly, I can have PhoneBurner send me a reminder prior to that call so that I don't miss that appointment. I can even send an appointment email to my contact with the date, and it will automatically include the date and time of our meeting, okay? And then if you just go ahead and save changes, you will see it sets the appointment. Now, if you happen to use other calendars, you can use this in conjunction, because once you set an appointment, you can export that appointment to Outlook, iCal, or even Google, all right? So that's the PhoneBurner calendar that's included with your PhoneBurner subscription, all right? You're welcome to use that. All right, so I'm done talking to Brock. I updated all the information, set up a follow-up appointment. Now I get to tell the system what happened. So I'm going to go ahead and say Brock was interested, and PhoneBurner, again, does everything you told that button to do and automatically takes me to the next call. Phone's ringing.
Hi, this is Jeff Sample.
I got another voicemail. I click leave voicemail.
Goodbye.
PhoneBurner, again, leaves that pre-recorded message, moves me on to the next call. I only had 5 to do it, 5 numbers to call at this time. But you can see now, oh, by the way, here's all the notes. All this is reported in your back office. All of it is included with the contact details. And now you just saw a live dial session with PhoneBurner and everything it can do and how efficient you can be with PhoneBurner. So let's close that, and let's go ahead and go into Brock real quick and show you what happened from a details perspective. So notice right here, automatically included my notes, automatically put other notes in there, automatically send an email because that button was set to send that email, right? That disposition, that button in there. I've got all the information of Brock here in my details, any upcoming events. I've got my entire activity of everything I've done with Brock. And by the way, the entire database is exportable. So you can export all this information into a CSV file. All right, so what are the couple other things that you can do with PhoneBurner besides the fact that, okay, I upload some contacts and I make some phone calls, right? That's absolutely important and critical, but now you've made some calls. How do I follow up? What are some of the tips? What are some of the tricks that you may want to consider? Well, first of all, it's the search functionality. Very powerful within PhoneBurner. I can search by a quick search with all kind of criteria, and whether it equals, begins with, ends with, and find contacts in that particular, for that particular search criteria. But the advanced search is where it gets really nice, and it's you can find it under the advanced search little drop down here. And now I can search by one or a multitude of different criteria to help me whittle down to who I want to call back. In other words, let's say today I wanted to search for everybody that I left a voicemail for. So remember, that's their status, okay? That's what those buttons said to do, that I haven't called before, on, after, X days ago, so on and so forth, even, sorry about that, even how many times I've called them. I can search by all that. I can even search a specific folder or specific activity or whatever I want to search, or a multitude of the different criterias to be able to search. And when you click search, it'll search your entire database for anything that meets that criteria. And now maybe that's who I want to follow up with. So that's the advanced search and how critical it is within PhoneBurner to help you with that all-important follow-up workflow and so on. And if it's a search you're going to do often, you can simply title it, and it will automatically pull a save search over here for you. So if it's something you're going to do often, you can do it once and it will automatically be available. And when you click on it, it's going to pull the latest data every time. Lastly, when you're in a particular folder, for example, I'm in contacts, you can sort by a whole host of different things, number of time calls, last calls, so on and so forth, and you can sort A to Z and Z to A. Under this gear wheel in your contact manager, this is where you can go manage those emails and phone scripts. Here's where you can go to those custom fields, and we have all kind of different things. It is a full-featured contact manager that you have available at your fingertips. But remember, the simplicity of PhoneBurner is I load up some contacts, I select a group that I want to call at this particular time, and PhoneBurner starts calling them more efficiently and more effectively than I can if I manually pick up my phone and dial a number. All right, the last couple things I want to leave you with. First of all is our support team. All right, even if you're in your trial period, after the trial period, if you upgrade, you will always have access to our support team. Our numbers here, we're open 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday. You can even generate a ticket. And on this same page are some different video tutorials that you are welcome to explore on a lot of things that I covered. The other thing I want to show you is where some of that setup stuff that I talked about earlier. Under your Dial Sessions tab, under PhoneBurner settings, you will see a couple different links here. Now, you are welcome to explore it, but let's just talk about the critical ones, okay? First one is caller ID. This is where you can go set up your caller ID to be whatever you want, so that no matter what phone number you pick, one phone you pick up to dial into PhoneBurner from, this is what shows for your contacts. And again, on the settings page, this is where your voicemail library is. So you can come in here. Now, yours will be blank when you first start, but you simply dial a number, put a special PIN number in, and you record your voicemail. And you can record as many as you want. And when you're done, you can listen to them. You can even download them on your computer. But I do recommend that you name them appropriately. That way, if you have more than one, you can pick the most appropriate one for the group of contacts you're calling. And then back to the settings page, this is where you can go configure the buttons that are in your dialer, the dispositions, if you will. This is where you can, just click on them and you can edit these. And these are the different things that it'll do. It'll set a status for that particular contact, automatically leave a note, move it to a different folder, send an email, and so on. Again, we configure all this for you, but you can also configure them by yourself. All right, and this is a very, very powerful part of PhoneBurner. All right, so the last thing I want to leave you with is when and if you're ready to upgrade, all right, you'll simply choose your account, okay, in your back office, and we offer 2 account levels. We offer a $149 account level that has unlimited dialing. Okay, so plus some premium features, but it has completely unlimited dialing. And we also have a 7.5-hour account, which is 450 minutes a month, and that is $67.50 a month. So you can choose either one of those account levels. However, because you attended the webinar, when the webinar ends, you're automatically going to go to a page where you log in, and if you upgrade right now, you'll get your 10% off. But you're also going to get sent a special link in an email when the webinar ends. And at any time, whenever you're ready to upgrade, whether that's tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, okay, you'll simply go on that link, click, log into your account, and this will be your pricing because you're automatically going to get that 10% off for life. Okay, so you'll just choose your account level, enter your 30 days. So essentially, if you upgrade today, pay today by midnight, or your time, send an email to ken@phoneburner.com. Instead of your next bill being due in 30 days, where we collect off your credit card, it will actually be in 60 days, giving you 30 days for free. I thank you so much for taking time out of your day to learn a little bit about PhoneBurner. Don't forget our support team is here to help, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.